The Tozai Hotel website has two pages that consist of a single column. The main content area on index.html has an ID hero. So let's just select that in the tag selector and choose the hero rule in the CSS styles panel, and you can see it has a fixed width of 896 pixels in the basic style sheet. This was done to ensure that the background image and text were positioned correctly in relationship to each other. But the tablet layout is flexible, so we need to change that. Let's first go into Live View and then use the window size menu by clicking next to multi-screen and changing that to tablet so we can follow what's happening, and select Tablet CSS in the Related Files toolbar. Now I'm going to add a rule for the hero div. And let's just update Live View. Now you can see that what has happened here is that I've now got a much narrower div, but it's also affected my text. So let's change the text. That's for the paragraph, so it'll be hero P. And change the padding on the right to 410 pixels. That's looking a bit better, but we now need to deal with the heading, which is an H2 heading inside the hero div, so hero H2, and we need to remove the padding on the right, so padding right 0. So it now fits nicely. Let me just explain the rules that I've created in the hero style rule. I'll just collapse that so that we've got a better view of the hero div in live view. What I've done is I've made both the width and the height auto. So it's now completely flexible, and it's centered within the wrapper div by giving it 10 pixels of margin on the left and right hand sides. The smaller version of this background image is 279 pixels high, so I've given the div a min height of the same value. And background position 265 pixels. If you specify only one value for background position, that means it's the horizontal position, and the other vertical position will automatically be centered. So it puts the background image 265 pixels from the left of the div and centers it vertically automatically. So index.html is now pretty much ready for being displayed on tablets. So let's take a look at rooms.html, which is also a single column page. Go into Live View and switch to the tablet size in the Window Sizes menu. And you can see that this div has automatically resized because its position and its size is controlled by the margins on either side rather than the fixed width. But we do have a problem with this image here, so let's fix that. To fix it, we need to go out of Live View first and then select the image in Design View, and you can see that it's got a width of 600 pixels and a height of 399. What I'm going to do is to use CSS to control the width, but if I leave the height in here, the image will become distorted when it's resized using CSS. So I'm going to delete the height. So it's just got a fixed width of 600 pixels. And that width will be applied by desktop browsers, but in other devices which use media queries, the value that the width will be controlled by the CSS style sheet. Notice that in the tag selector here it says image float right, image large. And you can see from the tooltip that it has both the float right and image large classes. So in the style sheet, the tablet style sheet, I need to create a style rule like this. Float right img large. And notice that there is no space between the float right and the period of img large. That's because I want to apply this rule to an element that has both the float right and img large classes. And the width will be 450 pixels. And you can see that immediately in design view the image has been resized, and because it doesn't have the height in the underlying HTML markup, it has retained its aspect ratio. The single column div has a class called content wide. I just want to make a few changes to its margins and padding to make a little bit more room on a tablet device. Let's just fix that. Content wide. And we'll just look at that in live view. And so everything is now nicely laid out for that single column page. So the tablet layout for the Tozai Hotel website is beginning to make good progress.